Important are the charges of obstruction being leveled by these Democrats, this war in Washington? Let's bring in former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney Vinoo Varghese. Vinoo, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you know, the central findings, we have to go back to the Mueller report as folks are still kind of reading through it this morning as it's 448 pages. But the central finding here of the report in general, no evidence that there was a coordinated or conspired effort to work with the Russians by the president of the United States. Still, Democrats aren't letting this go. Why?
Well, it's very simple. The report does not exonerate President Trump. Robert Mueller has laid out in painstaking detail multiple instances where Donald Trump intended or obstructed the investigation into into whether there was Russian meddling into this election.
What part specifically, Vinoo, are you talking about in the report?
He directed, you just saw it, Don McGahn to try to get Rosenstein to fire Sessions. He actually tried to get Sessions to unrecuse himself. There are at least 10 direct instances where Mueller laid out of obstruction cases. Now, in the end, he felt that he could not bring this case because of DOJ guidelines that do prohibit the indictment of a sitting president. What he said, though, is that it's up to Congress to do its job to put in check. And he said the president is not above the law. So when you think about what's going on, when you open up by saying there's no collusion and stuff, first of all, again, that's not a legal term. It's never been.
But that's a direct quote, Vinoo, that's a direct quote from the Mueller report that I wanted to give you.
No, what he said is there's no collusion, but they said it directly that there is no conspiracy. That's a different thing, because collusion doesn't exist under the criminal law.
But
conspiracy does.
But Vinoo, they couldn't even that meeting that was very well documented in the press, even as it was right after it happened, that meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and Paul Manafort and with that Russian agent that was posing as a charity, all of that. I mean, even that, which was included in the report extensively, even they're not going after Donald Trump Jr. on that one. I mean, there's a lot of instances here where they said, look, this did happen, but did they actually conspire? Was it criminal intent? And Mueller said no. And I want to read you one, I think, very important quote from here, this report. This is a direct quote. We were not persuaded. This is what you're bringing up here, Vinoo. We were not persuaded by the arguments that the president has blanket constitutional immunity to engage in acts that would corruptly obstruct justice through the exercise of otherwise valid Article 2 powers. That tells me that Mueller, if he would have said, look, this president absolutely was committing a crime, they would have had no problem stating that in the report, Vinoo, but they did not. No,
actually, first of all, that's mixing two different things. You're mixing the Russia element with the obstruction. What it lays out very clearly is that if we could have exonerated him, we would have. And understand his role, as Robert Mueller's role, was to present a report to Congress, first through the Attorney General and then from Congress. So when you come back here, and this is important to understand for the public, when Attorney General William Barr gives a summary saying that the prosecutorial decision not to prosecute wasn't influenced by sitting policy, that's not true. It says that very specifically in the report, that he was constrained by it and that it's really up to Congress to do what Congress is going to do. And it also lays out the fact that this is going to haunt Trump when he leaves. If he's not reelected, he could face charges.
Okay, but not for now. And I think that's like the key finding of the Mueller report, and President Trump saying that this is a victory for him. Vinoo Varghese, yeah, I know you disagree with that. Vinoo, thank you very much, though. It's great to have you, your opinion on this. We appreciate you getting up early.
Thank you.